Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. I just wanted to jump online today, just during the day. I'm not going to be able to make a video tonight, so I'm going to jump online today. Got another good day going on in the market right now. Even though we had some terrible unemployment numbers, I think it was like over 3 million or so. But the market's still reacting well. We've had a pretty good little run here the last couple of days. So we're going to take a look at that and just kind of get a quick glimpse of our portfolio. Maybe talk about, what to expect the rest of the week. And maybe just talk about why this market's doing what it's doing. So let's take a look at that first, and then our portfolio. And let's just talk about a few things towards the end there. Okay? So let's cut over to that. I did want to show you this to start out with. The Dow rallies 800 points, lifting its day gain to nearly 20%. Of course, it's up over 1,000 now. You see here. It's been over 1,000 most of the day, but this here is something that's very encouraging. 3-day gain to nearly 20%. So that is quite the run. Also heard about. I was watching today on CNBC some of the records as far as this return that we've been seeing the last few days. It's definitely good to finally have some days where we've got some green. And now, is the bottom in yet? We don't know that. Of course, you hear a lot of people talk about both ways, so we don't really worry about that. We've been buying this thing all the way down. So here's what we want to look for too. This VIX, we want this thing to start settling down a little bit, and it's gone down a little bit here, but that's been something that's been on the rise. So we need to see, this thing was running about 15, I think, at one point prior to all this starting to happen. So we were kind of non-volatile for a long time. But anyway, this is very encouraging that we see that we had that many unemployment claims, and this thing is doing this well. So we'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at our portfolio and see what we're doing there. I was looking at EXAS earlier. It's the only red one we had, but it was green earlier. So let's get this pulled up. As you can see here, we've got the Dow up 4.63. S&P's up another 4%, and then you got the NASDAQ up about 4%. So we're looking for 4% gains, just to see. We want to make sure we're tracking the market. We've got pretty much that's what our DIA is doing, our SPY is doing, QQQ and VTI. They're all running around at 4%. That's what we want. Again, this is something that we talked about, that these were going to track the gains in the market when the market turns. So those four are going to do that in most cases. We can see here GBTC, that's our Bitcoin Trust. It started out red, but it's actually in the green today, so that's good. QQQ, VTI, we've already talked about those. US Steel's getting a little bit green on it today. It actually was up to 634 earlier. Did buy some of that today. Bought some of that in the cash account today, so still adding to that. And cost averaging in other places, but not. This was just bought in the cash account today. This today. I think I bought at 601 or something like that. Might have been 598. But Peloton's up. Peloton's up another 5%. Novavax we have up $1.11. Novavax is something I bought yesterday. Bought yesterday at, let me check that for us real quick. I think it was 1140. Let me check it. Yeah, we bought Novavax yesterday at 1140. So that's a good buy from yesterday. Also did sell half of our DIA in one account. It was up over 6%. So we went ahead and cashed that in. It's going to probably go up higher. We didn't cost average as much in another account, so went ahead and took that 6%. And if we have a couple of bad days, if this thing turns back down, we'll be buying back into that as well. But right now, we're just going to park that 6% cash on the sideline. MPC's been doing pretty good here lately. Let me just take a look at this chart on MPC. We're at 22.90 now. It actually had gotten up there around $24 today, so I'd like to see it close around that area if we could. But let's take a look at that. Boy, this thing just jumping all over the place. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. You can see here, MPC was, it's having some up days, but it just can't hold on to those up days. But yesterday had a really good day. I think it was up 20-something% yesterday, or something crazy. And then today it was having a good run, but it couldn't quite hold it. But I think oil is down today, so let's go back and take a look at that. That'd probably tell us something here. Let's see. Oil, yeah, oil's down a little bit today, down 7%. So that's probably what's knocked MPC back down. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at the rest of it. But as you can see, our portfolio is doing good on these green days. That's always what you want to see after a big drop like that. Now, portfolios don't always follow the market. It depends what you're holding. But ours should be kind of following the market since we've got the 4 ETFs that reflect markets, but we've got several others that do not. So EXAS is in the red. Now that one has been on a tear, but it is falling off at the end of the day here. But I want to take a look at that chart. That one has been really on a tear here lately. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. You can see here, that's the one we talked about the other night. It was all the way down here to 36 or so, and it's up to $54. So that's quite the return. But it's probably some profit takers. Can't blame them. I'd like to average down on that a little bit more, but I think it's just good to get some cash on the sideline right now since we dove in pretty deep. I want to get some cash back on the sideline in case this market turns back down. This could be just a little bump and up, and then it could go right back down to where it was. So we want to make sure we have some cash if it does that. CLF, we've got up 2%, and then ACB is up 20%. So that's ACB needs to get back over $1 or in the danger of getting delisted. If you stay under $1 for 30 days, I think it is, you can get delisted. But I don't know if they're going to be real stringent on that right now with what's happened in the market. But this thing did get up there pretty high today. It did get up to that $1 mark, but it's got to close above $1 for a certain amount of days. I forget how many days, but it did make the $1 mark, so that's good. So we'll hope it gets over it and closes over it and stays over it for a few days, and then we'll be out of the danger of any kind of delisting there. That's definitely not something that you want to have to deal with. But it's a long process, so I'm not panicked about it right now. Nothing to worry about. And as you can see, we've got all these stocks in our portfolio, and I actually have more than this in my portfolio. So this is what you call being diverse, and that's very important when it comes to your portfolios. You want to stay diverse, and by diverse it means more than one stock, more than 4 stocks, but you got to stay in the different sectors too. So you want to be some in pharmaceuticals, some in healthcare, some in industrials, some in technology, and just you want to spread it out. Now, one thing I don't like to buy, and I guess the closest thing we've got to it right now is Peloton, but I don't like to play in the retail anymore because gotten burned in retail a couple times, so I'm kind of gun shy. But that and restaurants, those are 2 dangerous ones that you can get caught in sometime. But why is this market going up? Why is this market doing this the last few days? If you start thinking about it, what's different than the past here. So this is what it's talking about here. This market's up 3-day gain of 20%. Why is it doing that? What makes it do that? Well, you got to think about the state we were in when this virus was going on, and the state we were in was the unknown. Okay, and the market does not like uncertainty. Okay, it likes to know where we're at in places. That's why today, when we had an announcement of unemployment rates going up 3 million, unemployment claims going up 3 million, the market didn't fall on that. The market looks at that and says, okay, that's information I can use. I can kind of use that to kind of gain, footing where we are. It's gotten more and more information about the virus and how it's spreading in these countries and how it's spreading in our country, and, the death rates and, more information about testing and things like that. So the more information that the market gets, whether it's good or bad, it will settle down and might not be quite as volatile. And in a lot of cases, once it starts getting the information, like before, we definitely probably overshot the downward trend because there was no information for a long time, or not good information. Now we're starting to get information. We're starting to see things that helps the market understand where do I need to be. Of course, the Congress is passing this bill too to help relief and things like that. So that's what's keeping this market from dropping like it was, and possibly that's what's helping this market to go back up. Now, will it stay there? It just depends on the information, and it depends on what that information is, or lack of information too. So we're just going to have to watch it. The more information we can get, the better, whether it's good or bad sometimes. But the headlines and the guessing and the things like that, markets don't like that. And who would, with your money? Because it's just like us. We don't like it when we don't know what's going on with our money. And so we get a little gun shy, and a lot of us start selling everything we've got and that kind of thing. That's could be a good move if you did it at the top, when it started its first drop. But very people can judge these tops and bottoms. I don't know anybody that can, really. So just watch the markets. Let's look for that info coming in here, whether good or bad. And let's just see if we can hang on to this trend. Know that we could go up here for a little bit and then drop right back down. So be ready for that. If you get up on some things, maybe you want to start putting some cash on the sideline again. But some of it you may want to ride out if you're not in the green. I like to ride things out until I get back into the green. So we've already done that with DIA in one portfolio. So we're gonna watch for that. We're way up on some Novavax in one portfolio as well. Been adding to that position as well. So that's the game plan. We're going to just keep watching. If we get up to for myself, my strategy, I like 6%, especially if I've had my money out there for a while. But I mean, just like that, what we sold the other day, that was about 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most, that we made 6% on that money. So that is 6% a year is good, much less 6% in a downward market in 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So that's nothing wrong with that, and I'm gonna take it all day long. So hope you have a good day. Let's see, we'll get back on here probably Sunday night or sometime over the weekend. But guys, have a great day, and let's pull this thing up the rest of the way. We like to get away from that bottom, and we're in good shape. All right, talk to you later. Thanks for watching the videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We haven't had a new subscriber in a little bit, so if you haven't, please go ahead and click that subscribe button in the corner, and I appreciate that. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. To subscribe, click the button in the right-hand corner. Thank you.